The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. That's when the Great War, or the First World War, ended. Unfortunately, many more wars came after, and today, in November, we're honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
The city of Hamilton has provided hundreds of its sons and daughters to wars in the last century. Many returned safely to family and friends. Many did not return and are at rest in foreign lands or at sea with no stone to mark their passing.
Why this Remembrance Day ceremony? Why do we have these?
I believe that we have Remembrance Day ceremonies to remember all of the veterans who have died in the war for us. All of these people went, they fought for our freedom. World War I, World War II, any war that Canada's been part of, they went because they wanted to fight for our freedom. They wanted us to have a Canadian identity. So that's why I think we need to have these ceremonies, is to remember those people.
Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore.
Remembrance Day reminds me of hearing all the old stories that my grandfather used to tell me, but also, the things that he had to go through when he tells his stories. And now, even now when I deal with patients as a nurse, I hear some of them telling the stories, way back then, and, I realize what hardships that they went through to get us the freedom that we have now that we can still have to fight for. Remembrance Day is an important day that we should all remember because, we do need peace in the world.
They fought and some died for their homeland. They fought and some died, now it's our land. Look at his little child, there's no fear in her eyes. Could he not show respect for other dads who have died? Take 2 minutes, would you mind? It's a pittance of time.
I had 5 of my immediate family members who served overseas, and fortunately they all came home. 2 went to Juno Beach and fought their way through Belgium and France.
What does it mean to be playing the last post at this ceremony?
It opened up my mind today, opened up my eyes today, what soldiers do for us just so we can live in freedom and in peace. And I'm so glad to be Canadian. I'm so glad to be raised in this great country. I'm so glad to be here. And it just means a lot to me to be here today. So I thank Mohawk for having me play this last post. It meant a lot, it meant the world to me, and it opened up my eyes today, absolutely.
The veterans helped build the social fabric in Canada. They continue to be active in causes greater than themselves. Many have called them the greatest generation.
For some, remembering is not going to be enough. There's going to be some that want to participate by joining the military or a police force for cause greater than themselves out of that pride. But for some, remembering will be sufficient. So each person as they see fit. But I do encourage people to get involved in their community.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
And I remember laughing at the way a man was walking down the street, and a lady came out of the house and slapped my face, and she said, "That man fought for you." I think, geez, this was probably 1951. I would have only been about 5 or 6, so it would have been about that time. Only a few years after the war had ended, and that'll always stick with me. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. I was just a young, stupid kid having fun, and he looked funny walking. But those injuries that he had received to cause that, I'll remember that, and that's why, to me, when I think of remembrance, it's the poppy and the cross and the tomb and the marching and everything else that went along with it. Lest we forget, we won't forget, we can't forget.
So that was the Remembrance Day ceremony here at the Start campus. And with our country still at war 9 years after the fact in Afghanistan, and with many young men and women still making the ultimate sacrifice for our country, on this day, Remembrance Day, the question is remembering enough?
In Flanders fields the poppies blow.
Between the crosses, row on row.
That mark our place in the sky.
The larks still bravely singing fly.
Scarce heard amid the guns below.
We are the dead, short days ago.
We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow.
Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields.
Take up our quarrel with the foe.
To you from failing hands we throw.
The torch be yours to hold it high.
If ye break faith with us who die.
We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.